What's good, YouTube? We're gonna talk about what therapy did for me as a man, male, boy type shit. Cause it's a big stigma about like the male gender not going to therapy. And I got a bunch of friends who I be talking to about with like our own problems amongst each other and shit. And hindsight that I went to therapy, you can tell when somebody needs that shit. And I'm not on some blue haired fucking hippie shit where like, oh, everybody needs it, bro. It's gonna change your life, bro. Like, it's not that, bro. But if you are constantly talking about your problems and you're chat GPTing and fucking Googling them and all this shit, it probably benefits you to talk to somebody who's talked to thousands of people about the same shit that you're dealing with, so you can realize that the way you feel actually isn't that unique, and you just need to see why you feel that way for real. Because like realistically, it just depends on how you utilize a therapist. Because you can use the therapist, gang. Like, you just use people in all these other videos that say just use the therapist, gang. Use the therapist like it's chat GPT. You feel me? Ask them questions. Like, if you don't want to talk to a boy, gang, get a girl. Like, for real. Like, that's what I did, the goddamn. But pretty much a therapist has like a database of hundreds and thousands of people that they've talked to with patterns, because all this shit is patterns, right? And it's gonna be surprising if you decide to go as a man watching this shit, how like much this therapist can predict like about your situation and just things about why you might feel that way, because nobody is that unique. How you feel is not that different from how other people feel. They might just look at it differently than you and shit. But realistically, people have felt this way for a long time about a bunch of types of shit, right? And I think you should go if you can identify like a problem or a habit that you keep acting on that you aren't necessarily proud of, but you can't break it. Because it's like going to a therapist just speed runs your perspective change, right? Like for me, I would just really ask a lot of questions, and I would ask like, yo, like, how can you like, how are you just guessing these things about me? And it's really because she just talked to a shitload of people, and you're just one of 1,000. You know what I'm saying? But to yourself, you're dealing with one out of one. So it's like just getting professional help, right? Because they're technically a professional, but that shit sounds goofy. Professional help, right? It's like, it'll just make you realize that you're just in a habit, and like it's like a state of processing based on what you've been, like your history of life and why you do these things, right? Like for me, I had went because I went on some arrogant shit. Like, I was like, okay, so I'm good at a lot of things in life, but why do my relationships keep failing? Like with fucking with people, with my family, like why are my relationships failing? Like, if I can understand shit so well, right? And pretty much it's like you'll talk to the therapist, right? And then they'll ask you about what you're dealing with and shit. And it's as simple as them just forcing you to change your perspective of how you think by asking you questions that make you think about your situation. Like, you can be like, it can be as simple as like, yo, like, I don't know why I like crazy bitches. And then she'll be like, or the therapist will be like, well, what about them do you like? And you'll be like, low-key, that shit's kind of fun. She'll be like, well, you know, that's not normal, so why do you think it's fun? And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? And you'll be like, yo, well, shit, because before I done seen this and that. And she'll be like, well, when did you see this and that? And then they'll be like, well, is anybody else in your life that acts like this and that? And then you just start piecing shit together, and it's just like a fat ass, like, oh, that's why I'm acting this way. You feel me? Like, it can even be some shit as like, why are you mad all the time? Like, this is not me particularly, but like, I can see the like the string of questions that the therapist would ask some people I know with some of the shit they deal with that don't want to go, right? Like, I have some friends that like, all right, just have a lot of rage in them, right? And I'm like, gang, you probably should go to a therapist. But they're like, nah, bro, like, I just be mad. I'm like, you're not really supposed to be mad, you know what I'm saying? Like, the therapist kind of helps you see what's normal, what's not normal, just because they've talked to thousands of people that deal with normal shit and that deal with non-normal shit. Like, they could talk to somebody who has this problem entirely fixed because they never dealt with this in life, but this part of them is fucked up, and that's why they come to a therapist. And it's because, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just have a database of talking to people, like actual humans, not chat GPT, getting blogs and fucking, I'm trying to get my thumbnail and shit too, but getting blogs and shit and just fucking, you feel me? Like actual people where they can make their own process of determining, oh, this person's probably dealing with this like this person, right? So, example, right? My friends with rage, who I think need to go to that shit. I'm like, they'll be like, why are you mad all the time? You feel me? And then the therapist will probably be like, well, did you see, like, are you like used to anger? Because some people don't ever see anger in their life. And if they do, it's not the same level in which these people might be putting it out, you know what I'm saying? So be like, did you see anger in your life before? Like, did you see people be angry a lot? And they'll be like, yeah, or like when? You know what I'm saying? Oh, so you think it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, usually any bad habits you think you have or shit that you just act on is because you think it's normal, bro. Because you're just used to it, because it's exposure and shit, until you have a professional, or not, I don't like the word professional, right? Until you talk to somebody who's talked to thousands of people who can for certain tell you that that shit is not normal, gang. There's a certain way that shit's supposed to go to be like healthy and maintainable for long term, and there's a certain way supposed to go that you just crash and burn out or be fucked up all the time. You feel me? And if you're just trying to tell yourself like, nah, I got it, like, cause I used to be on some shit like that. I'm like, nah, like, I just be mad. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, nah, fuck it. Like, fuck it. You feel me? But really, to live like a long life, feel me, and not have no wrinkles and shit like that, gang, like, you need to be on some chill shit, and you need to figure out your problems, and it'll help you lock in on other shit. Like, I'm gonna just give y'all examples. You know what I'm saying? It'll be like, why are you always seeking a relationship? It's probably because at some point you felt lonely, and the therapist will help you get to that conclusion by asking you questions and like forcing you to think only about that with this person in front of you holding you accountable, that remembers, as long as you just go more than once, the next time and the next time, you're gonna have to remember what was asked about, and you're gonna have to remember what y'all talked about, and she's gonna remember, or he's gonna remember, the therapist, because they're writing that shit down so they can make your like customer profile. Because at the end of the day, they don't give a fuck about you, bro. They only give a fuck about you as long as you pay. Like, if it's online therapy, in-person therapy, that shit is damn near the same shit, bro. And it's damn near cost the same depending on how you go about it, for real. And it's like that, you have to understand that. Like, they don't actually give a fuck, but their job is to problem solve and help you change your perspective. You know what I'm saying? And if you fully believe that you can't change, then you probably have a fucking disorder, or like your ass needs some goddamn Klonopin or fucking alprazolam for real, gang. Then you're just fried because you're getting too grown to be taking that shit. I'm not gonna lie, as a man type shit for me. But yeah, bro, therapy is frowned upon amongst men, and I've had friends who clearly have problems. Everybody has problems. These are my friends, so I understand, like, gang, that's a problem. Like, and I keep seeing certain people, or you might see people or yourself be like, nah, I'm not finna do that no more. And then you keep fucking doing it, and it's just a habit you can't break, because literally your life has conditioned you to act in that way. And you're not even gonna like understand that unless you get your perspective changed on it, or actually try to understand, why do you do that? Like, why do you always want to be in a relationship? You feel me? Why do you put up with this in certain relationships? Why do you feel like getting this angry is acceptable? Shit like that. And it mainly has to be do with like things you've been exposed to and what you think is normal. You know what I'm saying? Because like everybody starts off in this world as a baby, and you're like a blank piece of paper, and then you just absorb shit, and it just becomes who you are. And then a lot of the times, you don't always absorb like great shit because you're raised by humans, you're around humans, and humans aren't perfect. You feel me? So it's just natural. Like it doesn't matter if you had a hard life or a good life. Like you're gonna have habits that you should probably think about why you have them. And just going to a therapist as a man, whatever the fuck. If girls are watching this too, like same shit, bro, same shit. Even bro, bitches I know definitely need to go to fucking therapy. Bitch, it's like, bitch, why you? Let me chill. But yeah, bro, everybody needs to go so they can get an outside looking in on their habits and get forced to fucking reevaluate your process of thinking and why you might do certain shit. And what therapy did for me as a man, boy, person type shit, it just helped me change my perspective faster. It was like I was getting forced to think about shit that I already knew, but I wasn't piecing together. Like they'll just help you put the puzzle together of why you feel a certain way, why you put up with certain shit, why you have certain habits, because it all just comes down to pretty much what you've been exposed to, what you've lived, like shit like that, bro. And then just going to the fucking therapist, they'll just help you get to those conclusions faster because they know what to ask you because they literally talk to thousands of people, bro. Like, that's it. They're just, what therapy did for me is help me get to conclusions faster, get to solutions faster, and change my perspective faster, and just be more peaceful for real. And I didn't even go for like a crazy amount of time. I probably went for like maybe like 4 months or like 6 months, like a couple years ago, but not too long ago. And ultimately, I just stopped going because towards the end of the shit was calm because I started understanding things more. And the therapist was like, well, I don't even, like, what are we talking about now? Like, you said you're doing good. Like, you don't, for me, you're not confused about your actions or why you did stuff anymore. So, like, all it is now, for me, it just living, just doing good shit, bro. And realistically, I should have said this at the beginning, but the therapist is gonna tell you to get the fuck over it, pretty much. Pretty much is gonna say, get over it. Like, get over it. Like, it happened. You know what happened. You know why you're sad. So, what are you doing? You're just gonna stay sad. And if you stay sad, then they're, feel me, probably need medicine. And your ass is, you're being immature, honestly. You're being immature unless you have an actual, like, what is it called? Neurological disorder. Like some real shit. You're just being a baby back bitch. And you need to get over it. And you need to look at your actions and what you've been exposed to and what you feel is normal. And going to a therapist, that's what it did for me. All that, but faster. Feel me? And now, it just changed your perspective to where whenever I have urges or like just shit like habits, I think about like, why am I doing that? Like, why would I do this? What makes me want to do this? You know what I'm saying? Because nobody does shit for no reason. Nobody puts up with shit for no reason. Nobody has habits for no reason. Like, it's just a matter of perspective changing and understanding that your experience is not that unique. You know what I'm saying? There's like, I don't know how many people on this earth game, but there's like probably almost like 1 trillion or some shit. So a lot, bro. So whatever you feel, whatever you're going through, whatever you're putting up with, whatever habits you're trying to get better at, there's other people feeling the same, and they've been to fucking therapy for it, and the therapist has heard from them, and they're just gonna apply it. You're just gonna enter their database being customer/patient number 6,032. You feel me? And you're just gonna get your perspective changed. And I think if you have a problem, you can identify it, but you can't break it. You probably should go to therapy so they can just help you change your perspective faster, and eventually, or not eventually, but afterwards, it'll just force you to think about your decisions more internally and like, why am I doing this? What is, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, like, why am I doing this? Why do I feel this way? What makes me want to do this type shit? Have I seen it before? You feel me? It's pretty much what most of it comes down to. You've seen some fucked up shit and they're like, yo, that's actually not the right way. Like, oh, you started smoking weed when you were 15. It's probably because nobody was checking up on your ass. Why were you being rebellious? Type shit. Duh. You feel me? Nobody's supposed to be smoking fucking weed at 15 years old, dog. Like, I was smoking weed at 15 years old. I was doing pills. I was jugging. I was fucking manipulating bitches. I still manipulate bitches, but that's not a bad thing type shit. But nah. Yeah, bro. They're just gonna force you or help you look more internally and realize this shit that was like okay and not okay. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, I see my parents argue. It's like, yeah, you know that parents aren't supposed to argue in front of kids, and you're like, oh shit. Type shit. You be like, damn, that's why I was arguing with my bitch all the time. Like, shit like that, bro. That's what it did for me. Helped change my perspective. Help rush my internal thinking, it strengthened my internal dialogue and decision making. And from then on, I would just look for the why and when I do shit. You know what I'm saying? It just helped me think better ultimately. And it'll get to a point, you're not supposed to like use it like a crutch, you're supposed to use it like a tool. And eventually you don't need the tool no more because it strengthened your brain. And so now, you know what I'm saying? It's like reading a textbook or reading a big ass informative article, but it's a person that's talked to thousands or hundreds of people just like you, because you're not that special. I'm not that special. You feel me? Everybody's living similar shit with different perspectives, different timing, shit like that. That's it. But yeah, bro. As a man, type shit. Bow.